Hey guys, so thanks for joining me for another video. So today what we're going to be talking about is 5 ways how to speed up your spiritual awakening. Now if you're wondering what a spiritual awakening is, a spiritual awakening is awakening to your true nature as the ever-present, conscious, blissful observer of life. Detached from thoughts, detached from emotions, detached from your ego attachments to your body, and you basically live in a place of permanent contentment. Now there's multiple ways how this is happening recently, and I'd say pain and a conscious, dedicated journey in spiritual development are the main ways to make this happen, and the way mine happened was probably a combination of the two, but I'm going to give you 5 ways how to speed this up. So number 1 is meditation. Now the reason meditation is so important, and it's been used for thousands of years by multiple traditions, is because it allows us to tune into ourselves deeply. It allows us to become more sensitive to the world around us and what's going on inside of us, and then allows us to walk a deeper path of personal and spiritual growth, and allows us to interact with the world from a much deeper seated place of being. And number 2 is social media. Now the reason social media is so bad is because while we're scrolling down through social media looking at different things, we're seeing things that spark emotions of fear and doubts and guilt and uncertainties and jealousies, and we're having continuous biochemistry changes within our being, which is not normal. So if you can imagine walking down the street, you wouldn't have so many different emotions passing through your conscious experience at that pace. So it is completely unnatural. On top of that, it allows us to be exposed by continuous temptations of sexual desires, which most of social media is worked around. So a lot of people at the moment are coming to me for one-on-one sessions in personal development, I find, are experiencing a lot of imbalances within their psyche, and I think social media is probably the prime cause for that. So number 3 is going celibate. Now the reason going celibate is so important is because our sexual energy is our thunderbolt. There is nothing in this existence that can compete with the power of our sexual energy, because it is the thing that brings a whole new life into this existence. So as a human being, that is our most powerful source of energy. Now when you are releasing it through masturbation or meaningless sex, you're allowing yourself to get rid of your thunderbolt, which is the same energy we use to heal ourselves. It's the same energy that converts into creative energy, and it's the same energy that also allows us to rise up and have that kundalini experience. So I've done 6 months celibate, which doesn't sound like a huge amount of time, but I've done 6 months off social media, no masturbation, no sex, and I believe it's the thing that fast-tracked my spiritual awakening and eventually allowed me to have a kundalini awakening. So I've made a video about my experience in kundalini, I've also made a video about how to meditate effectively, and I've also made a video about celibacy. So you can click on them if you'd like a more detailed and expanded version of what I'm talking about now, but if not, just try celibacy. And eventually what happens is you will stop giving in to them temptations and pecking thoughts. Your mind becomes much more still, much more focused, much more strong, and I believe that will help you speed up your spiritual awakening. So number 4 is spending time alone. Now the reason spending time alone is so important is because psychology has proven that we are the 5 people that we spend the most time with in this world. So if you're spending the most time in your life with other people, then it's extremely hard for you to recognize who you are. And if you spend most of your time with yourself, then you're able to understand who you are, and then you're able to interact with the world from that place of being. So one of the things that happened to me when I started traveling the world over a decade ago is by spending prolonged amounts of time in solitude, I found out who I was. And then when I interact with the world, I stopped myself from becoming this kind of social chameleon where I adapted to who I was hanging around with. And now I'm in a place where I can spend time with the aristocrats or the successful entrepreneurs or the hippies or whoever I decide to spend time with, and it doesn't change who I am and who I am towards those people. Which then leads me to number 5. So number 5 is doing the inner work. Now what does doing the inner work look like? So doing the inner work is about peeling back the different layers of you. Who you are, understanding what needs fixing, what can change, how can you become a better person, and what needs to happen to make that happen. And then you implement change, okay? You implement actions in those areas. It also looks like reading self-help books, reading books about spiritual development and personal development, spending more time alone, doing lots of meditation and doing lots of inward looking. Now it can be quite an uncomfortable process, I guess, but the more you do this, the more you can have access to who you are underneath, and the more you can have access to a much deeper state of wisdom and being in general. And this allows you again to speed up your process of having a spiritual awakening. So guys, thanks for watching this video. I wish you all the best on your journey. If you'd like to hear about more of what I'm doing, please click on my page, and you can watch a number of videos on all of these different subjects. Or if you'd like to catch up for a one-on-one session, please visit my company www.happysouls.co.nz. But if not, I wish you all the best on your journey through life, and thanks for watching my video.